hope you don't mind me saying so, but you look like someone who's good at cleaning up messes. I've got a big one for you, if you're up for it. I'd pay you for your time, but I need someone quick on their feet. This mess is turning into a crisis. I was experimenting with a spell while my mentor, Magister Iren, was away, but the magic went awry. If it doesn't get dealt with, it's going to spread beyond this area and harm a bunch of innocent people. I can't fix it on my own, so I need help. I need to develop a counterspell, but first their protective wards around the area need to be restored by someone other than myself, so I don't taint the magic. That's where you come in. Like I said, if you help, I can pay. Hold still. You'll need this unless you want to spend the next few hours as a sheep. Not as glamorous as it sounds. And here, take these crystals. You'll need them to restore the wards. The first one is in the meadow just up the hill to the north. Mostly they serve to keep errant magic inside Draioch's boundaries. You know, the standard 3 points of protection thing. Unfortunately, my spell kicked those wards in the teeth. They're not protecting anything now. The spell I created has my magical mark on it, if that makes sense. There are certain types of magic that can be affected by their creator, intentionally or not. Messing with forces already attuned to you can have unpredictable results. Exactly. Magic is powerful and great and all that, but it can be pretty sensitive. Fussy, Magister Iren likes to say. And since my spell is already wreaking havoc across Draioch, I'd rather not take any unnecessary risks while fixing it. I'll meet you in the meadow. Here we are. I'm going to cast a little purifying spell while you place the crystals so nothing disturbs us. That's one ward restored! Let's go fix the next one. It's in the glade just west of here. I really should have paid more attention to Magister Iren when he was explaining how these protective wards work. I should have paid more attention to him in general, actually. The next one is in the glade. It's just across the way to the west. Unfortunately, no. The wards are just to keep the unstable magic inside the bounds of Draioch. That way, I can work on a counterspell without worrying about the original spell spreading. Magister Iren made sure I knew what they were and what purpose they served as soon as he took me on as an apprentice. He wanted me to be familiar with as much of Draioch as possible, or at least the parts that keep it safe. I guess this is a fight now. Here we are. I'll make sure nothing gets in our way while you... Oh, you're a natural. Maybe you should have been Magister Iren's apprentice. The last ward is south of here, inside a cave. This is the last one. Let's get this over with quick. Place the warding crystal. That's all the wards. Let's talk outside. I need to figure out what to do next. I know my rogue spell is to blame for most of the weirdness happening around Draioch, but it almost seems like these damned moats are becoming dangerous. They're doing more than just mischievous magic. Fish biscuits. I need to figure this out. I'm not sure. The moats aren't new. They're always hanging around Draioch. I think they're drawn to places like this. But there was nothing in my spell that should have made them act malevolent. And there are a lot more around than usual. Yes, I can make traps to contain them, but I'm still worried about their behavior. While I work on the traps, could you head into the tower and look to Magister Iren's things? He might have a book with more information about the moats. See if you can find anything in the tower about the moats. I'll meet you there and start on the traps.
This is ridiculous. I knew Magister Iren should never have taken in a mangy cat like you.
Relax, Huldressa. I'm working on it.
You better work fast, because when Magister Iren... What the... Oh!
All right. That was a little funny. You in here? Did you find anything useful about the moats? I finished the traps. Once we set them up, they should take care of the moats. Then I can sort out the livestock in Huldressa, and at some point create a counterspell to fix everything for good. Did you learn anything useful? Oh, I read that one, with the Wind Sorrow lady, right? Oh, what if my spell disturbed her and that's why the moats are acting up? That's troubling. And also a problem for future Ember. Let's focus on one thing at a time. Or two things, actually. The traps are finished, but the livestock and Huldressa are still a problem. I want to figure out a way to return them all to their natural forms before the illusion does any damage. Could you set the traps while I do that? Here, I'll mark some places to set the traps. They're in a pack by the work tables outside. While you do that, I'll figure out how to fix the livestock and Huldressa. Then I can work on my counterspell. Good luck setting up the traps. I'll meet you by the livestock pens when you're finished. Try breaking free! All right, let's get you two back to your regular chicken selves. Ha! I knew it would work. Run along, ladies. You're back! The traps worked, didn't they? See? I told you I know what I'm doing. Mostly. Speaking of which, I think I figured out a way to return the livestock to their original forms. I made something. I know it looks like a spoon, but, well, technically it is a spoon, but I enchanted it. And I call it the Spoon of Undo. I just tested it on those chickens. It removes the illusions perfectly. Normally I wouldn't bother, but illusions can be disorienting and cause terrible headaches. I don't want any of the animals suffering while I come up with my counterspell. Oh, and Huldressa. I suppose I don't really want her suffering either. Here, take the Spoon of Undo. If you could run around and fix the livestock and Huldressa, that will give me a chance to finally whip up this counterspell. By the time you're finished, I'm sure I'll have something figured out. Just look around for people making animal noises. I'm sure they won't be hard to find. And tell them I'm sorry when you change them back, would you? As for Huldressa, I'm all in favor of leaving her as a guar. Just kidding. Kind of. I'll be in the tower working on the counterspell. Come find me when you're done.
Was I just a guar? This is all Ember's fault. Oh, I feel strange. It was quite unpleasant. Thank you for saving me. I know I'm nothing to gawk at, but I prefer to look like this instead of a guar. All right. She made me look like a guar. What do you think? I told Magister Aaron that Ember was trouble the moment she showed up. Trouble, I said. But did he listen? There wouldn't be anything to work out if that careless Khajiit would listen more and mind her elders. She's brash and often quite rude. Why am I standing here talking to you? I'm going back to my kitchen, and I may just have a glass of brandy.
Fish biscuits. That wasn't right. I assume Huldressa is back to her charming self? I've run into a problem. I have good news and bad news. The good news is that I've nearly finished my counterspell, but I need to find a tome called the Mirrored Way to complete it. I know Magister Irin has it, but it's not with the rest of his books. That's the bad news. Because if the Mirrored Way isn't with the rest of his things, it's probably locked away in his arcane library. The library he specifically forbids me from entering. The tome I need has to be in there. Without it, I can't make the counterspell. Magister Irin has warned me not to enter his library 1,000 times. But these are special circumstances. There will probably be some magical traps inside meant to keep me out. So I'll need your help getting the book while I deal with them. Once we find the Mirrored Way in Magister Irin's library, I can finish my counterspell. I just hope the old man wasn't serious about putting something dangerous inside to keep me out. He was definitely kidding. Had to be. Come on, let's go. Follow me. The library's downstairs. Give me just a moment to pick the lock. All right, let's get in and out as quick as we can. I don't sense anything. Maybe the old man was bluffing. Fish biscuits!
I warned you, Ember.
This spell is specifically targeting me. I'll figure out a way down. You just focus on getting the book. That's it! You got it! Now, let's get out of here before I set off something else. Magister Irin really didn't want me getting in there, huh? I have to admire the dedication. I didn't know the old man had it in him. He had something to target me specifically. What a sneaky old goat. Good thing I had you with me. You managed to get the book, right? Let me see it. Let me take a look. Nope, not that. That would be bad. What about this? Oh, here it is. It's Amahan ist Exis, not Gahan Amexis is. Good thing I checked. See? That's personal growth right there. Two different arcane glyphs. They do entirely different things when written and pronounced aloud. The second one is what I need for my counterspell. Now, all that's left is to get to the old ritual circle and cast this. I'll need your help again. The counterspell should set everything right in Draioch. Things will be just as Magister Irin left them, and I won't have to face his furrowed brow. I'll need your help at the ritual site. Casting a spell this big is a two-person job. The ritual circle is just up the hill. I'll meet you there. First, we need to set the ritual flames. There's 3 around the site. Light the 3 ritual flames here. I'll get the ones on the altar. The spell is set. Follow me. We should be able to see it materialize. Any second now. Work! We did it! Come on, let's get back to the tower.
Used to work under these conditions. I was turned into a guar. A guar!
Of course, Huldressa. I promise to address the situation.
See that you do.
Huldressa sold me out, didn't she?
Let me speak to your associate first, Ember. So, you were witness to the events here, and as I understand it, you had a hand in bringing them to an end. For that, I thank you. And if you'll indulge me, I do have a few lingering questions. What in the world happened? I don't know what I expected, leaving her to her own devices here, even temporarily. Ember and Trouble are old friends. I can still feel the repercussions of this spell gone awry, as you say. Do I have you to thank for rectifying it? I see. As trying as she can be, she truly is a talented mage. She can be impatient, but given her natural inclination to magic, it's understandable. I always knew I was perhaps not the best teacher for her. I took her in because I knew I couldn't leave someone as skilled and impulsive as her to her own devices. But I have neither the time nor aptitude to teach her properly. It's my own failing. Speak to her, would you? I must collect my thoughts. Don't worry, Ember isn't in any trouble. While I am not pleased about my traumatized cook, I must concede that everything is back in order and the consequences of Ember's magic weren't dire. Still, I must consider what to do now. I don't mean to give the impression that Ember is incapable of learning. That's not the case. She's a bright mage, one of the brightest I've ever seen. Everything I've taught her she's taken to like flame to parchment. But therein lies the problem. Well, just like a flame, Ember wants to devour everything around her. Her appetite for knowledge is ceaseless. That's good quality in a mage, but not necessarily one I'm equipped to deal with. By my own admission, I'm methodical, cautious. By the books. Exactly right. Ember needs someone who can keep up with her. Someone who thrusts themselves headlong into adventure so that she may temper herself and her magic beside them. Perhaps when I was younger, I could have been that for her, but not now.
Hey, you! Let's talk while Magister Irin collects his thoughts. I thought Magister Irin would be as mad as a wet dragon, but he looks amused. It's probably because he's wanted to turn Huldressa into a guar at some point. He just won't admit it. And the fact that we fixed it all before he got here helped. Well, I've been thinking. I'm grateful to Magister Irin, but sitting and reading about magic has little appeal to me. This whole thing just proved to me that I'm too restless here. I want to do magic, not just study it. Go on adventures, see things. I think it's time. I've been given good training here, but I still have a lot to learn. For me, the best teachers are curiosity and experience. I learn best by doing, so I need to get out in the world and continue my training. Ember the Sorcerer. I like the sound of that, but that can come later. First, take this. It's not much, but you deserve it. I think we made a good team today. If you ever need a sorcerer who has your back, let me know. We'd have some fun. Magister Irin, I'm grateful for your teachings and your patience, but I think it's time for me to move on.
The world is an excellent teacher for one of your talents, Ember. Do write me occasionally.
I should go pack my things. And say goodbye to Huldressa. Not a chance.